Because, all right, if you don't know, Dead or Alive is known for also having a volleyball series of games that's just Ghibli.
Phenomenal
Ghibli
physics.
Yeah.
Physics phenomenal.
Yeah, because you know how boobs do this.
Yeah.
Very realistic physics.
Oh, yeah. Mine do it all the time. That's why
They
I was
clap on their
black
own.
eyes, you know?
They go.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to another episode of Deadpan Discourse. Well, we talk a little bit about everything. I am your tongue-tied host for the week, Brandy. I have a few cast members. Louis, stop it. And we're going to go around and introduce ourselves. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Go for it, Louis, since you're starting it already.
My eyes are like what are they calling them when like your radio whenever it fluctuates. That's
in Tokyo.
That's what I was doing. Hi, I'm Louie. If you don't know me, you're gonna.
And we appreciate that.
Yes.
Aww.
Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
I like long walks on a sandy beach.
Okay.
I like a good book by the fireplace. Maybe some poetry while drinking some wine. No, I like video games, movies, and I'm a fucking nerd. Done.
All right, Josh.
So I'm perfect for this.
Go for it.
What's up? I'm Josh. I'm the extra salty person in this group. I love movies, video games, and making fun of Dan.
That's always
our
a fun
producer.
Thing. Yes.
All too
yes. True. Love you, Dan. Timmons, go for it.
I am Timmons, and I like video games a lot more than movies, which is probably why I'm perfect for this episode, because it's all about the opinion of movie renditions of video games, and I'm sure I have a lot of those.
Yep. Timmons just covered it. We are going to be talking about...
Sorry.
No. Video games that have been made into movies and how we feel about those. I'm going to talk a little bit... my history is with MMOs originally, and World of Warcraft was a big one. And when I heard for years and years and years that they're going to make a Warcraft movie, super excited, super excited. And when it came out, a little underwhelmed. It was still fun, but it was very underwhelming. So, Josh, you want to start? You want to talk about something that really annoyed you or something you really like?
Oof. What doesn't annoy me? That's the biggest question.
Look at the shirt.
We know. Extra salty. I had to start with the saltiest one here because that's fun for me. Okay,
I'll choose the easiest one that pretty much most people would agree with me. The Resident Evil series by Paul W. S. Anderson. The most garbage freaking thing I've ever seen.
Was it?
Time out. I would say the first one was okay because they kind of went basic, trying to tell its own like origin stories. But after that, it went.
So here's my question: how much do the movies actually have tied to the games?
Absolutely nothing in storylines.
Okay.
They copy the action sequences from the video game CGI movies, but that's it. They added an original character that takes up all the cool screen times of your favorite video game characters, like Jill, Chris, who was a background character. Whoop-de-doo.
But he had Smolder.
No one cares. No, it's a dude from Prison Break. Of course he does it.
Every shot with that guy's. I think we need to survive. Like, yeah, good job.
Did he even say that in the movie? Because I didn't think he said a damn line. It's like, Claire, is that you?
Nope, it's Alice.
That That was a Ellie Larder. Is that you? Sorry,
Exactly.
Jill. Sorry, Claire. Got it. Is that
Oh,
you?
hey. What was it? Jill Valentine in the second movie. Hey, she was going to do something badass. Light a match, throw it in like a gas tank that was going to explode. Nope. Matches go out. Alice came out of nowhere with a thermal blanket, threw a lighter. He was shot. What? Okay, still the scene of Jill Valentine. Cool. Great writing.
Because Jill wasn't married to the director.
Oh,
Yeah.
come
That has
on,
nothing
May.
to, I'm sure it has
Expand.
nothing to do with it.
No, go ahead.
Don't you love it when
Expand on
that
this,
happens,
please.
though?
What's that?
Don't you love it when that happens, though? I mean, look at all those Tim Burton movies. They all have Helena
Monster
Bonham
Hunter.
Carter in them.
Oh.
Was that a Tim Burton movie?
No.
She's just
It
talking.
was,
She's referring
it was
to
made by
Jill
the same
Valentine.
person.
Yeah.
And that did
That guy's
terrible.
everywhere.
I didn't even bother watching that one.
I love the game, but I'm not going to watch that movie. I'm sorry.
You would think that it would be easier picking something like Monster Hunter that doesn't traditionally have a story. It's got like elements of a story, but you're literally a character that's supposed to go out into a world and create your own narrative. And they still managed to just completely muck that up so badly. I haven't even seen it. I just keep hearing everything about it. And I'm just like, I don't want to watch it. And I'm a huge Tony Jaa fan, but I'm like, dude, stop doing stuff like this. This is bad for you.
Oh, here's the funny thing. So the premise is like special forces people like get transferred into the monster world, whatever. I feel like Paul Anderson, whatever, stole that idea from another terrible video game movie called In the Name of the King 2, which was a direct DVD starring with my boy Dolph Lundgren, where he plays a special like ex-Navy SEAL guy gets transported into the mythical realm. Sounds fishy. And it was just as bad. By the way, that game was based off Dragon Siege, if you didn't know that.
I did not.
Mm-mm.
Honestly, I
Never even heard
had
of the game.
I haven't seen it.
Horrible.
well.
Trash.
Timmons, that's on you.
First one had Jason Statham.
Oh, wait, there was a second one?
No, Dolph Lundgren was the second one. It had
I didn't know there was a
three.
second one.
There was 3.
Wow.
No.
Because I saw that first one and I was like, all right, I love Jason Statham. I like a lot of the actors that were in it. And then I saw it and I went, oh.
Yeah, you forgot it was directed by Uwe Boll.
Yeah, thank you, Dan, for pointing that out. In the,
Yeah.
he's commenting a lot of little colorful
Yeah.
commentary. So if you see me laugh, you'll know why. I'm not just listening to the, funny people in my head. I'm just.
So, Super Mario. What do we think about that?
Jeez.
Is there a thought? Because there wasn't a thought when they made it.
I mean, the best
There
way you
couldn't
can
have been.
say is Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo said that was the biggest mistakes of their career.
But I mean, look what happened to Leguizamo from that, though. He Spawn, Moulin Rouge, Ice Age, like.
But that wasn't because of Mario. That was because of
No.
That's
John
because he's a
Leguizamo.
nut. Yes.
I think it's because of the
insane.
movie The Pest that saved
I was
his career.
about to say that he was in The Pest, and he still has a badass career. Everything about Leguizamo is just awesome. I haven't met him, but I saw him do a one-person show where he just talked about stuff that happened. And yeah, when he got to the Mario stuff, he was like, yeah. When he got to The Pest, everybody just lost their collective minds. They're just like, you were great. The movie sucked. We're like, yeah, all right. So that's fair. You can be a great actor, a great talent, an entertainer, and be in something crappy, but you have to have the talent for it. Like Bob Hoskins didn't suffer from it. He was in a, trashy movie. But that's what's so good about film and about video games themselves is that even though they both exist in this weird place of entertainment, they are not the same whatsoever. So what the challenge that I would give to the panel here is, what do you guys what do you think is the difference that would make a good video game movie work versus why it hasn't worked so far?
Hey, now hang on. There has been a few video game movies that really knocked it out of the park because they didn't follow like the video game narrative. Like they didn't try to make it a sequel or anything. They just took the idea, wrote its own story, and then took it from there. Like
That kept it in the same universe, right? Other than like not like Resident Evil or Monster Hunter or something.
Yeah, I mean, like, like the one that comes into my mind when I think of, and I'm probably gonna catch a lot of shit for this, but the one that pops up first in my head when I think of the perfect video game movie is Tomb Raider.
Still haven't
Which
seen
one?
There've only been 1,500.
The first one. The
with
second
Angelina
one-
Jolie.
The Laura Croft Tomb Raider. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I think the third movie that recently came out was the best one.
Well, I mean,
That,
but
that
like,
one was hyper faithful to the whole thing, but when you have a video game that is that big and grand, they're gonna miss a lot of the bigger points. Like you know what a lot of the hell that they caught on Game of Thrones, that it didn't follow faithfully to the book because there's too much information in the book. Same with Lord of the Rings, one of the greatest trilogies of all time, and I will die on that hill. I know who's here. I'm gonna say it, but it was so good. But they like Timmons is saying, and that's literally the answer to my question is, do you follow the actual material or do you not? When you have something as story rich as Resident Evil that has a whole world based around it, was it a bad idea to try to build from that world, or should they have just done their own thing? Like, I would have personally, if you give me a script to that, Hollywood, I would have said, yeah, let's do like Hunk, you know, a character that is in the background to Resident Evil. A lot of people know who he was because he was supposed to be a secret character in Resident Evil 2, and when they heard his backstory, just thought he was a badass, but never really existed. So give him a movie, put it in the same world. Jill exists, Leon exists, they all exist, but make it about this new person and just kind of dive into what happened with it. And the reason why I know this would work, look how well The Mandalorian did. It's not based around the original trilogy individuals, although it's still based in that world, and there you go. And yes, like Dan says, like the new Mortal Kombat.
So what about, like, for example, Uncharted, the movie that's supposed to be coming out?
You see, to me, that's interesting. I'm sorry to cut you off, but to me, that's interesting because it is taking the premise and showing us something that we haven't seen with it. It's giving us a new story for it. Whether it works or doesn't is, you know, meant to be determined as of the recording of this. But that's something that at least has a chance, because they're not going, no, it's Nathan. It's the first game, and we're going to put the third game in there for some reason, but we're not going to talk about the second one, even though it's the best. But anyway, fight me.
And no,
Yeah,
it's
I
kind
like-
of crazy.
Sorry, go ahead,
Go
Josh.
ahead. No, I was going to say it's going to be a little off topic from Uncharted. I'm going back to Resident Evil because there's going to be two things that's coming out for Resident Evil: a reboot of the movie itself and a live action Netflix adaptation.
Oh, right.
And they're doing two different things. The remake, or the reboot, excuse me, is trying to go through the first game. Like, they're legit trying to make it like the first game. The Netflix live action, they're doing something completely different that I'm not even sure that I agree with. I like the casting, but with the Netflix series, they're going with, okay, it's going to be in two different timelines, the future and the past. The past is going to have Wesker and his daughters. What the fuck? What? Wesker's daughters? Excuse me?
Did he have daughters?
No. He had a son. But it
By Troy
makes no
Baker.
sense. Troy who? No.
What?
I'm going to put a little bit of a tangent. I want to put a little pin on that cushion, and I want to just say, how crazy was it to see that character be like the softest, like pretty boy, and then all of a sudden get that voice? I'm like, didn't fit. I'm sorry. I love it, but it didn't fit.
Yeah, but there's speaking with movies, like, you have to go with, like, how far off are you going with the source materials? Because if you're going to go off the wall, like to me on the Netflix series is, I might not like it. And it's like, is it really Resident Evil at the end of the day?
But could you respect it because it's trying to do its own thing as opposed to do what already proves doesn't work?
Or maybe they just take it and say, we're slapping Resident Evil name on it, and it's whatever the hell they want to make.
And
again,
I've been
left to be
seeing that in a
determined.
lot of video game movies. House of the Dead.
I still haven't seen that.
Okay, so I have a question. So, do you think that having, like, the developer involved in the movie making process, or like the creative side of the video game involved in the movie process, do you think that would help or hinder a movie? And do you know of a movie done that?
All of them. Hinder.
Just yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I won't say 50-50 because, like Doom, they love the
don't even
creature
get us-
effects, but they
Mhm.
hated
Get
the
me started
story.
on Doom.
Personally, I enjoyed the movie because it was a popcorn, cheesy, dumb movie. Because I knew it was going to be bad, and I enjoyed that bad movie.
See, I think it
Kyle
really all
Urban.
depends on what direction they want to take the movie. Because if they're looking to like take kind of the same idea and give it its own story, then I think having like one of the video game creators on set with them could really kind of like trash that, because it's going to be like, no, this is, you want to base it off the game, make it like the game, make it
It has to be the game. Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
But
but
I'm
at the
sorry.
same time, if they're trying to, if they're actually trying to do that, kind of like what they did with Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, and try to like make a movie sequel of a game, I think that they should have the creator on set to kind of like guide them where it should go based on what they know about the game.
That makes a lot of sense. Like for me, I guess it kind of goes hand in hand. If you get a developer like Naughty Dog, who is known for narrative,
Mhm.
to make something, whether it's a faithful adaptation or a new story, that could be interesting. But again, it's left to be determined. Then the best example for that is upcoming with the Uncharted movie. We don't know yet because they were heavily involved. I'm a little skeptical, to be honest, only because Tom Holland is kind of like, yeah, we did a movie, and I'm like, you're in it. You probably know it better than anyone.
That's how I felt with Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Well, wow. but for the most part, we've had stuff like Doom that at the time, as opposed to the reboots, wasn't narrative at all. And then they tried to shove in narration, and they tried to create a story that didn't exist in a video game that doesn't need a story. The purpose of Doom is to be violent, to go out and kill demons. And they were like, okay, but here's the reason why. Just give me the demons. That's all I want. I want the gore. I want the chainsaw. That's all. And they didn't do that ultimately.
They did me right with a solid line by The Rock. He told Carl Urban, said, Semper Fi, motherfucker. Best line. I died laughing. I was like, I'm good. I'm glad I spent $1 on this movie.
And now
Okay.
here's the question, Louis. Are you, with the Doom remakes, are you upset about that story?
Not at all. I love the fact that the story is optional. You can go through the whole thing not knowing there is one. It's very resembling to me of the Deadpool video game, which is there's a story, but the main character doesn't know that because he doesn't care about it. Where Deadpool used it in comedic performance, Doom used it in narration. They're like, if you want, there's tons of lore. That's why it looks so cool. That's why it makes so much sense. But if you don't care, go blow up a demon's head. Have fun. We're here for it.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Here's more guns. Go do all the shooting. Just be careful.
We're
No, don't
here
be
for
careful.
the buckets of blood.
So Josh said his guilty pleasure is Doom. So Louis and Timmons, what's your guilty pleasure? Like a movie you know is bad, but you still love it for whatever reason.
Video game, I'm assuming.
Yes.
I'm gonna mull that over for a second. I'm gonna pass
Okay.
it over to Timmons.
Timmons,
I'm gonna need some thinking juice.
how'd you feel about Mortal Kombat, Tekken? I know you like the
Oh my
fighting
God.
games.
Oh
I know
my
you like the
God.
fighting games.
Hold up. Which Mortal Kombat movie?
I don't know. I don't care. I'm just asking you,
Because-
what is a guilty pleasure for you? What did you actually like that everyone else hated?
Oh, I love 95 Mortal Kombat,
I don't
but a lot of
know.
people did.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the 95 Mortal Kombat was incredible. I'm gonna throw that word out there because it's true. The second one, I don't really have I don't have guilty pleasure.
Mhm.
Like I don't have a bad movie I enjoy, even though it's bad, because I'm really picky about this shit already. Like, if it's not the best thing ever, I don't care. Like, I'm really picky.
Have you seen
So
the Tekken
it's-
movie?
The one with John Cho and
I
Ian
don't know
Anthony
who's in it.
Dale and
Yep. That
Oh, yeah.
garbage.
That garbage.
See, okay. There's one. Josh thinks it's garbage. I love it. I thought it was.
There you go. There you
I
go.
thought it was a good spin.
There's your guilty
on-
pleasure.
I thought it was an interesting take on the game storyline, because the game was like, you know, it's this person's corporation against this person's corporation, and then it's like they hold tournaments. Honestly, in the game, I have no idea what the tournaments are for, to be perfectly honest with you. But it's just people get together and they fight. But in the movie, they put it together where, like, okay, so in the game, you've got people from like different countries all coming to this one place to fight in this tournament, I guess, for their country. But in the movie, the countries are a place of corporations. So it's like all these different people from all these different corporations come in and, you know, fight it out, I guess, to see, you know, whose corporation wins this one. And yeah, I just
What
thought
do
it
they
was,
win? I've
the
never played the
title.
games. I don't know.
I just remember Kazuya had a
Funny.
3-way with Nina and Anna, which with two sisters that hate each other. That's like,
Yeah.
what? This makes no sense.
Yeah, the character choice for the movie is weird because a lot of them were only in one or two of them, and only counting like mainline story Tekken games, there's 7 of them. And you've got, you know, like Christy Montero was in the movie, but she was only in Tekken 5 and 6, I think.
She was in 4.
Was she?
Yep.
I only played 4, honestly, just to say I played it. But yeah, and then you've got like Raven, who
Wesley
was in-
Snipes lookalike.
yeah, he was in 5 and 6, and then was replaced in 7 by Master Raven, which is basically just a female version of him. And then like
That's what a lot of video games do, though. It's just like, oh yeah, by the way, this is the teacher. He has like 2 extra moves, but he's basically the same guy.
yeah, so it's yeah, I mean Tekken, after the first time they did that to Eddie, kind of got really bad with it because they replaced Eddie with Christy Montero. And then they tried later on to bring them both back, and they were like, who wants to stare at Eddie? Like, no one wants to look at Eddie's ass flopping around the screen. They want to see Christy.
What?
So then they got rid of Christy because Eddie was getting
Specific.
neglected. And it's, you know, I don't understand. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. But I like the movie, honestly, mainly because of the character design.
And
It's
the
like
band
when you
Sick Puppy like fucking promoted that
yeah.
song movie.
That song, You're Going Down,
They
was
they toured at Best Buy.
hell yeah.
Sick puppies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sick Puppies did the
I actually know the guitar player.
opening.
I
course you did.
thought you were saying sick puppies were used in the promotion. I'm like, I don't remember
No,
any
they-
dogs.
They did the song for the intro to the movie, which really fit actually really well.
I don't remember much. I just remember the fights. I just fast forward all the fights because the rest of the movie, there was a movie they had a threesome. What are you guys talking about? Did we watch?
All
Oh yeah.
right.
I mean, now
Louis.
that you're mentioning it, I'm like, oh, okay. My guilty pleasure is DOA, Dead or Alive.
Mhm.
Kasumi
Oh,
hot.
totally forgot.
They
about
made a
that.
movie.
Oh, actually, yeah. Oh
So
my
just-
god, it is so fucking horrible. It
Just
is.
for the
It
hot
is.
people.
Liu Kang was a pirate in that movie.
What?
Was so bad. It was so bad. Like I remember talking my cousin into going to watch it with me, and when we got out of the theater, I was like, "So what'd you think?" And he just kind of looked at me like he hated me, just like, "You son of a bitch."
Wait. You saw it in theaters?
Yeah, opening
Man.
day, opening day, for 2 reasons.
Wow.
For 2 reasons. I really like the video game, and the director for the movie actually was a great. Before that movie was known to be a great fight choreographer. He did the fight choreography for what was that Jason Statham movie, The Transporter, the first one, and immediately after that, the one where Jet Li was in God, I think it was in London or something. I don't know. He's always somewhere else. And the fights are really, really cool. And I was like, all right, now they're giving him his whole movie. It's about a video game that is nothing but fighting. So I don't care what the story is about. It's just going to be a bunch of badass fight scenes. No.
Did you even watch the trailers?
Nope.
Of that movie?
No, I notoriously...
That explains a lot.
Notoriously, I don't watch trailers because I don't want anything spoiled, although there was nothing to spoil with that god-awful thing. So I was just like, cool, they're making a movie, got it, all right. And what's her name, who just got out of Sin City, she was Deadly Mio, was playing Kasumi, and I was like, well, she did badass as Deadly Mio. Yeah, it's because she didn't have any lines, and she just looked cool with a sword cutting people's heads off. That's why she worked in that movie. And then they gave her lines in this one, and she wasn't cutting people's heads off. And then they did the beach volleyball scene, and I'm just like, this is the scene.
What?
This is the scene. Because, all right, if you don't know, Dead or Alive is known for also having a volleyball series of games that's just Ghibli.
Phenomenal
Jiggly boobs.
physics.
Yeah.
Physics phenomenal.
Yeah, because you know how boobs do this.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah, that's-
realistic physics.
Oh yeah, mine do it all the time. That's why
They
I was
clap on their
black
own.
eyes, you know.
They go,
Yep.
yeah, exactly. And so I had no idea that they were going to do that. But when they threw that beach volleyball thing in there, they tried to like really play it off very dead serious. And it's like, you know, when something is so bad, it's kind of fun. I now that I'm saying it, I think it actually is my guilty pleasure because it's so bad. Like it's one of those perfect examples of like, let me show you what to not do in film. Anytime that anybody comes up to me and is going to ask me like, okay, I want to write a movie, watch this one first. If you do any of
don't do
this,
it.
you're fired forever. Like it was so bad. But as far as like an actual guilty pleasure, I don't think I really have one. I guess it would be Resident Evil 2 because I was so young at the time when I watched it.
Of course you would.
It was the first faithful adaptation because Jill kind of looked like Jill, except she was like 12 years younger and way hotter. And then they did the scene where Claire drops the gun and drops down and picks it up and shoots it. And I'm like, yeah, it's just like the game. Everything's great. They did a good one. And yeah, now I'm older and wiser, and I know that's
stop you right
stupid.
there because you said adaptation. No, it wasn't. They just took scenes like famous scenes from the game.
I was a teenager. I know now. Okay?
And then when I was watching the series again on Netflix, I was like, man, who the fuck wrote this? The
Motherfucker,
line
please.
was so
My
bad.
shit is custom. That's still a great line.
My name is
Defy you.
Alice, yada yada. I work for the top. Get the.
Are you married to the director? Are you married to the director? Then you can do something about it.
Man,
Now, as a person
she killed
who
his
hasn't
career.
As a person who hasn't actually played any of the Resident Evil games in a very long time, was Alice even in the
No.
games?
No,
So
totally.
she was made up for the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they picked a choice actress. That's all I'm
No.
going to say about that.
The only good
Who
movie
was
she did
it?
was The Fifth Element.
Mila
Mila
Jovovich.
Jovovich.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know what her name was through all those movies. I've seen bits and pieces because I've watched them with Dan.
Well,
I was
now
not
I have to
impressed.
drink. Now I'm sad again.
Which
Good.
I can't
I hope
remember the
you're
one we
sad.
actually did watch. It was
I
pretty
saw
bad.
the first Resident Evil in theaters when I was 12.
Oh, I remember watching House of the Dead in the theaters. That was the biggest regret of my life. Because I
I
thought
have
to
not seen
myself,
House of the Dead.
how the hell do you have an arcade game where you're just shooting your pistols, shooting zombies in a mansion? What do you get? You get random smart zombies on a fucking island that barely had a mansion. It's more like a creepy looking cabin house. And then you get a creepy fisherman guy that tells you, that's a nice choice. Those are desert eagles. Like, no, it's not. That's not a fucking desert eagle. What? Who wrote this? And there's was it Ron Howard's brother playing as the first mate? Then he dies randomly, and the captain got sad. Ooh, my first mate died. And then he died. Yeah, it's stupid. It was dumb.
So they
It was-
just slapped the name on.
Well, not
something.
only that is like every time they're shooting zombies, they randomly post like game footage, like the first House of the Dead or the second House of the Dead. Boom, boom, boom. It's like, what the fuck's the point of this cutaway of the original games? Why?
Well,
Thank you,
Brandy,
Uwe Boll.
excuse me, Brandy, to your point, there's a lot of video game movies that were not meant to be video game movies. They read the script and they were like, oh, this is a pretty decent action. You know what? Our studio owns the rights to this piece of shit. We don't know what to do with it. How about we just slap the name onto this one, make your zombies hell demons from Mars, but they're not demons, they're aliens, and now we own the rights to both again. So they keep screwing it up. And if you watch these movies and it's like, okay, you know what? It's obviously B material. They're not even trying. It was just meant to be schlock so that I can enjoy my weekend. But they had to do the thing by putting the name on it. So now I go in with some kind of perception as opposed to going the other way around and going, okay, I want to make a movie about this video game. Why don't we try to do something with that? I believe, and I can absolutely be totally wrong with this, the biggest culprits would probably be the Resident Evil original movie. Oh, well, there you go.
One. Yeah. You give me one. What's the other ones?
I'm almost positive that the newest Doom movie that just came out, the one that was on Netflix.
Okay. 2.
Let me see. I know there's another one that's very notorious for it, but I cannot remember for the life of me. And again, they just slap on that sticker on the front and make all the characters named.
Huh? Would it be Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within?
Actually, I like that movie.
I think it was too. Actually. It made no. Spirits Within was from the studio. It was made directly for it.
Yeah,
and it was as its own amazing movie, but as a Final Fantasy.
So narrative wise, it was a good movie.
Yeah,
phenomenal CGI,
and the acting was on point.
Oh yeah, the only downer was like that wasn't a Final Fantasy. There was no like epic battles. That's it. But it was a good movie. That movie deserved. I mean, it had way too much hate than it deserved.
Yeah, I'd say that's very true.
Kind of like Final Fantasy 13.
Having Children was out the fucking mark, man. I love that movie. I don't care what.
Dude, can you believe that movie? Okay. Can you believe that movie came out in 2006 and looks like that?
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
And according to them, they actually made the characters look a little more anime because they looked too real in the original when they first did the whole thing. They were like, pull back.
I have it on Blu-ray, and it's like, hey, it almost hurts to watch. It's like the first time I watched it on DVD when I was 16, because my dad, sweetheart that he is, was out grocery shopping one day, and of course, my dad being my dad, he's got to go look at the movies and all this shit. He goes, hey, what's that Final Fantasy game you really like? I was like, 7? He goes, okay. When was the last time you bought yourself a movie? I was like, I don't
Never.
know. Boondock Saints.
Well, I'm coming home with a surprise. I hope you don't know what it is.
See, that's how my dad is. He'll go to like buy you a birthday present, right? And it's like I remember my 18th birthday when Slipknot's "All Hope Is Gone" album came out. He was like, "Hey, do you have Slipknot's new album yet?" It's like "All Hope Is Gone." He goes, "Yeah, I think that's the one." I said, no, he said, "Don't buy it."
Well,
I know what I'm getting for my birthday.
Whatever works. So, okay, I have a multiple choice question for you guys. And
fuck,
this happens. This is for live action stuff, not animated stuff. So, what is the highest grossing video game movie worldwide? A, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. B, Warcraft. Or C, Detective Pikachu. Louis, you first.
Warcraft.
Josh.
Pikachu.
Timmons.
Pikachu.
Is actually Warcraft.
What?
You're gonna quiz me? You're gonna quiz me on movies?
Wait. Did you say the U.S. or worldwide?
I said worldwide.
Oh damn! I screwed up then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, China. That's the one.
Point
that's
to Louis.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
did enjoy Warcraft.
Write that down. I actually did enjoy it. Like it wasn't nearly like playing the games to me because the games are so immersive. The books are immersive. Like it's just this huge world. I was like, how can you put all of that into a movie?
You can't. That's why.
That's
my point.
That's why they were hoping for it to be a series, but apparently, studios like, nah, We didn't like the performance.
But it was actually pretty good. And I mean, it was the highest grossing video game movie worldwide. I mean, it made $439 million, which isn't
Now, I think
chump change, but it probably cost more than that to make. Who knows?
because I did enjoy the Warcraft movie, but I think I think the only reason I enjoyed it is because even though I used to play World of Warcraft, I just wanted to level up and get gear. I didn't actually pay any attention to any of the story, so I didn't have any expectations when I went into the movie.
Right.
I was a zombie when I played it.
Undead Warlock.
Sure.
This is one.
No, I had knives. I was a zombie with knives.
Okay, so
This is one that this is a little fun fact about my World of Warcraft character that our producer will enjoy. I was an undead arms warrior named Raziel.
Okay.
Is that a reference?
That is a reference to Soul Reaper.
Ah, okay.
And my mind is saying nerd.
Okay. So what movie or what video game do you guys really want to see made into a movie? Or what are you terrified that they'll screw up being made?
Uncharted.
Okay, all right.
Jeez, man. Wow.
That's pretty easy, right?
That
Or
was
the
way
Last
too
of Us
easy.
TV
Okay,
show
all right.
on coming up on HBO Max. Please sponsor us. Yeah, there's a lot. One I would love to see, but I'd like to try to. I'd like to see them do something different with it. Soul Calibur, honestly, I like the fighting games a lot. I have yet to see an adaptation that is relatively good. The closest one would be Tekken, and that's sad because it's. I'm sorry.
No, hey, hang on. Now,
I'm
did you even
sorry.
know that they made a second Tekken movie?
The prequel.
What?
Louis just keeps smiling. What?
It was called
Somebody
Kazuya's-
saw that one and they went, "Yeah, let's make another one."
Yep. Pretty much.
Jesus Christ.
Did you know Rampage made a buttload of movie money too?
I
Well,
know,
yeah, because
I
of The
know.
Rock.
That's Dwayne Johnson.
So that
Yeah,
was the
it's-
only reason?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Probably,
And
yeah,
Johnny
yeah.
he's that bankable. He's literally that bankable. He's in
the
terrible
Rampage
movies and
games-
they still do great.
The Rampage games didn't really have much of a story. It's just you.
Well,
were
yeah, it's just
this.
bashing shit, right?
Yeah, you were this
That's all you
giant
need.
mutated beast that just tore down buildings and ate
Ape
people.
Smash.
Smash.
I can
But,
still hear your table rumble. Hold on. Okay, we're good.
But no, actually, I'm actually kind of curious on the Metal Gear Solid movie. And the reason for that is I do enjoy who they pick in as Snake. Oscar, was it Isaac Oscar?
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, that dude. And the director of King Kong Skull Island.
Okay, so they are making one?
Yes.
I have been
Skull
actively
Island
avoiding
sucked.
any news whatsoever about that movie because I know it is going to be a major letdown.
Oh,
Yeah.
Halo. Yeah.
We need a Halo
Just
movie.
be-
That's very true, Dan.
Just
yeah,
because.
we did have a
Master
Halo. It's
Chief.
called District 9.
Oh, God.
Ah.
Good reference. Good reference. No. But Metal Gear, I don't think is going to work. To be honest, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to pay. I'm going to watch all 27 of them, and I'm going to hate every single one of
And
them.
then I'm going to tell you, haha, told you so.
No, I'm still going to hate them because it's too. Kojima is too
Is it
much of a
Kojima?
lightning in a bottle. He is, the reason why it takes years for each game to come out is because of how much he puts into each individual
Dan.
shot, every single little frame. It's so meticulous that I don't believe anybody could do it justice that would be like not alive, but like that it would be handed that kind of responsibility for something as important to the gaming community as Metal Gear. I'm gonna watch it because I still love it, and I'm gonna yes,
And-
thank you.
And I bet you money
Simmons is
that it's
showing
going
us
to
his nipple.
sneak in.
That's not a
to,
tattoo. That was his nipple.
It's going to sneak in, and you're going to enjoy it secretly.
No, I'm not gonna.
Infiltration. Yeah,
I'm
you're gonna
gonna
love it.
tell
I know
everybody. I'm gonna no. If I love it, I'll say it. I will scream it to the mountaintops. I
And you
be
will
happy.
love it. I know it. That's how confident I am.
See, I'm
You know-
actively avoiding anything about that movie because of how big of a fan I am of the games. I just know I'm going to be disappointed.
You know it's gonna suck.
I just want one Raiden. Done.
So, the movie I really want to see made is Death Stranding.
I just said
sorry.
you can't do Kojima. God damn it, Brandy.
I don't know if that
Can you
one's going to
imagine
work.
how boring
at all.
that would be?
The
I'm gonna
only-
walk
honestly,
forever.
I mean, that's
You
what
can
Lord of the
make it
Rings is,
work.
right?
No, it's
I mean,
not.
honestly, the only way I could
Screw
think that
you,
a Death
Josh.
Stranding movie would
I hate
actually
you.
work is if you got Norman Reedus to do it.
Well,
No.
yeah, he has to be
He's
an integral
crazy.
part to it.
Like
I
it
don't,
would,
thi- I
it
don't
would
think,
have to be Norman Reedus.
but it wouldn't. I don't want it to be him. I want him to be in it. I want it to like make reference that this guy exists, and they show other carriers, and it could work. Either one job where one person has to take one package that's super important somewhere, or they
Just
don't
follow
show
a FedEx
that
driver
part.
all day.
I was about
mean-
to say they've already done that movie, Louis. It was called Castaway, and this one package was so important. This dude stranded himself on an island for however long, avoiding opening that one package.
And he lost his best
That was
friend.
great. That was great.
Oh, best friend.
That was really good.
That was good.
Not gonna lie,
Nice,
that was a fucking because I know how much Brandy likes the.
Hey, Louis, I actually got a question for you.
Uh-oh. This is not gonna be fun.
What was your actual like favorite adaptation?
Adaptation, as far as
Like, what do you think was the best possible video game movie?
video
That
game
could've
movie.
been
Okay. Adaptation, as in as closely
And I want to
related.
say live action, not CGI.
Good call, because I was gonna go.
Yeah.
Nice
I
catch.
I was
nice catch.
thinking.
I see what
He's
you did
trying
there.
to avoid Advent Children at this point.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, well, that was a great fucking movie. I don't care what you say, Josh.
technically, Advent Children technically was a sequel.
No. But see, that's the point. Is that I can't call that an adaptation because it's not an adaptation. It is a direct sequel of the story. So what I would say, the closest. Dan made a good point. Silent Hill. But to me, the closest is one I have not seen yet, only because I had somebody describe everything to me, and I'm like, oh, I don't need to watch it. I played the goddamn thing, and that would be the newest Tomb Raider, because it sounds like it was almost shot for shot, which is why I don't think it worked, because we played it
There
already.
is a twist.
There might
you
be a
don't know.
twist. That's yeah,
I'm
but
just saying there is.
but as far as closest to the adaptation, the second one I would say is probably Silent Hill, and I hate that because it took everything that was good about Silent Hill, grabbed the surface level of it, and then just reprinted it and said, this is a movie. It's like, you don't understand what Pyramid Head was. You don't understand what Silent Hill meant. You don't understand what the whole
But it
premise
had
of
the
it was.
music from the games though.
Oh my god.
No, because I've been thinking about
How to
this
yell
pretty
at
much-
Judy.
I
Don't
was thinking
yell.
about this all day. I was like, what is the best video game adaptation that I thought of? And then I actually messaged you this earlier about it that you didn't know about.
Yes,
Ace
yes, you
Attorney.
did. Yeah, I just found out about that today, like
The
3 hours
Phoenix
ago.
Wright game has a movie adaptation.
By one of my favorite directors of all time, Takeshi Miike.
Exactly.
Which is insane. How do I
mean,
not know about this?
If I have to say like the terrible thing that he did, I wouldn't say terrible. I mean, it's like odd choice. Even though the movie to me it was perfect in story wise, he made that movie like look dark, like dull colors,
Phoenix?
everything. But yeah, because if you watch if you play the games, everything is so colorful. Even though the game's about solving murders, right? So like in his movie, like even though he has the humor and the story with it, it just looks like a dark movie, like where the colors is just blah.
See, here's what's interesting about that is that I never played the Phoenix games, but I
Hold
know
it.
about them.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hold it.
I'm sorry. No,
Objection.
I know. Nice.
Overruled.
Cool. I know about them, and but I know a lot about Miike, and what I've always loved about him is that like he's like if Tim Burton and the darkest part of Coppola got together and had a kid, and that kid made movies. That's what Miike
100%.
does.
That guy actually already exists.
Who's that? Be very
Sweet
careful.
Mad George.
No idea. Anyway, Mike. You'll tell me about this guy. You will tell me about this guy, Timmons. I don't know what that is, but Mike make these movies that are right on a fine line between being so over the top, they're comedic, and so dark that, like, I was telling Josh about this, that he created a huge movement that inspired a lot of people during the early 2000s of the shock value for movies. Like even Tarantino for Kill Bill, the original one, he used a lot of stuff that he took from direct, and he says, I absolutely took it out of Mike's Ichi the Killer. Ichi the Killer, which is still one of the greatest but most fucked up movies that you will ever see. And Mike even had him in one of his movies called Sukiyaki Western Django, where it's a great movie, and I hate Tarantino, but he's in that movie, and I was like, even he stole that, man. That was
Tarantino's awesome. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna hurt you physically. Anyway.
So Screaming Mad George, Louis, just really quick, is a visual effects artist who has graced such films as The Guyver and Big Trouble in Little China. He also helped design Slipknot's first album mask, like all the masks.
That was him? Was I right about that guy? Oh shit! I didn't know that was his name. Cool. All right.
He also he still ties into this conversation about video game movies and adaptations and all that. Actually, wrote a game that was exclusive to Japan called Paranoia Escape, and it's basically pinball in hell.
Pinball in hell. Well,
like your bumpers are like the skeletons of angels, and the ball is like a flaming skull, and you're like the wickets are like strippers' legs, and the sky is eyeballs that are just watching you, and like
can't wait to see that movie.
And it's like the like the board is like the inside of someone's intestines.
I can't squint my eyes any.
That's kind of gross.
There's like polyps and like all sorts of shit that you have to avoid, and
polyps. Ugh, that sounds gross.
Like it's real gross.
What?
I mean, I'm down for pretty much anything, ladies.
You're down with the sickness?
Yeah.
So single.
Yeah, Dan brought up an interesting point. Dead Space movie. That would be really freaky.
That already happened. It was the 96 movie called Event Horizon, which was made by Paul Anderson, ironically.
Well, okay. You know what? I'm going to defend Josh on this one because the original. Yes. The original that did not actually get shot. And don't get me wrong. Dead Space actually says that they took directly from that script. It's very based off of it.
So that's actually a video game made from a movie.
Technically speaking, but it also took a lot of elements from Silent Hill.
That's the same thing you can say about the movie Phantoms. Ben Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo. Just saying.
Wait. Bro. Phantoms. Which one was that? I've read a book called Phantoms. Sister
by Dean Koontz?
Yes.
Yes, that movie. Silent Hill really took elements from that book.
Oh.
You're in a dead town, weird-ass monsters around.
The moth creatures.
There is moth, yep.
That melt people's faces with acid. Oh, so gross.
One guy saying, hey, you want to see something scary?
I want to hear Timmons. Go.
Wait, okay, sorry.
The interesting thing that we were talking about Metal Gear Solid earlier is how they're making a movie based on the game, but the games were based on two other movies by John Carpenter called Escape from New York and Escape from LA.
Well, yeah. Snake. Pliskin.
So that could also go back to another episode of this.
Call me Snake.
Of video game renditions of movies.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do an episode of that. That's just not this one.
That time I'll brush up because I'm such a nerd and competitive that I have to be right about everything.
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't make you go wrong.
I know you.
And I'm gonna sit back and say, "Oh yeah, I played that game. They made a movie."
All right. It's gonna be a show to try to convince Timmons who's right.
Because you probably thought Van Helsing was a great video game adaptation.
Who, me?
What?
Just messing with you. But I'm going to argue
That would be
you're
a great
wrong.
game.
It was a terrible game, sir.
I've never
that
played the
Van Helsing
game. I've
game.
never seen the movie. I'm out of
Do
that.
neither, sir. Save
Yeah,
yourself.
don't.
I know
Just
what
don't.
Hugh Jackman was in the
Yeah.
movie, right?
So is Kate Beckinsale.
Kate
Oh, hang on,
Beckinsale.
hang on. That might be my reason to watch it.
No.
Oh my god. And she actually has like a real character arc. Like
A real one.
No, yeah, she legitimately has like an actual story, unlike Hugh Jackman's character, who's just buff and kills things, and the horny friar.
She's
That's
my.
I love the friar. He
he's
cracks me
hilarious,
up.
but he doesn't have a character development. He stays horny the whole time.
Yeah.
But
Isn't it the same guy
Beckinsale-
that played Faramir?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Amazing actor, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Kate Beckinsale is my celebrity crush.
She's everybody's character.
She's
Kate
my celebrity
Beckinsale is
crush.
Kate
What are you talking
Beckinsale's
about?
celebrity crush. God damn it!
Oh my god.
Every time she looks in the mirror, she's just like, yeah.
At least
I get
once
it.
she fixed her teeth when she was younger. But yeah.
Jesus.
Man, the tooth hurts.
And I also just want to point out that you know what? Never mind. That might get us banned. I'm not going to point that out.
No banning.
Let's just say she's been in 2 movies where my name is said frequently.
Mm.
Underworld and Click.
Click, click, boom.
2 things I hate: click and click, click, boom. That's all right. You both managed to piss me off. Great.
You're welcome.
That's not very hard to do.
I'm not even done with my beer yet. I can't put up with you.
All right. We're gonna start up. And if anybody wants to hear anything that they want the Discourse crew or the Deadpan crew to talk about, put something in the comments and we will find 4 people that have a very, very big opinion, because that's kind of what we do.
And
Yes.
tell why Louis is
We
wrong.
are
Send
a
all the
very-
suggestions in.
We are a very opinionated bunch.
Yes, we are. And we will
Let me
find
tell
4
you
of these
why.
bastards to say something.
Hold on. Let me tell you why we're so opinionated.
And here we
Okay,
go.
get ready because we have another half hour going, and start recording. No.
I'm not
Okay.
opinionated at all.
Oh no,
I
no.
just
Josh
spit
has no
facts.
opinion.
All right. From everyone here and the salty bitch, we're out. Bye. Bye.
I'm gonna just
Yeah.
not stop. How much time do we have left? 5 minutes?
I don't know.
Let's
Dan,
see.
we're done.
Get the new shirt smell.
This is all right.
It still says it's recording.
Ow.
I don't know what Dan is doing because he just said, please send in suggestions. And then I said that. And now we're still going.
Ah.
Man, it's still